It's the Cable MTG Show.
Is this a pack one pick one library? You could take force negation or like a life death. I'm gonna take library. It's so rare to have a pack one pick one clear library pick these days. Usually there's something. There's like an Ocelot or a Ragavan or a fucking, Swords to Plowshares. Just like some key card. Mana Drain, Mox. You get the idea. Ooh. So I actually love Library and Reanimator because you can like overfill your hand sometimes. We did just pass Life Death and now we're passing Exhume, so hopefully that doesn't fucking bite us, huh? Ooh, Animate Dead. Yeah, let's snag that, huh? Make sure we get at least something. The red in this pack goes crazy. Ragavan and Pyrogoyf for the Badlands there. Oh shit, another stream every day challenge. You know it, friend. You know it. Twitch that chat thought I was having it just a mite too easy. Little duress action. That underground see's tempting. The thing is, we don't know if we're going to be blue-black or black-red, right? There's a black-red duel here, too. So far, red has looked a lot more open. I think I'm just going to take the damn Barragoyf, though, right? Barragoyf wins games. I don't really want any of this. I'd like to stay away from black-green. I kind of black-greened myself out the other day. Might just happen anyway. How's your Monday going, Valupi? Mine's going fucking awesome. You're so tired? Oh no! Well, I hope you find rest soon. Not in like a dying way, but in like a good amount of sleep way. Quintoxic just got done with work and considering going to bed. Oh my god. That's an early day. If you need it, you fucking need it, huh? Sometimes just laying down for a bit and resting helps. Have a nice soak in the tub, something like that. And then you can enjoy your evening and go to sleep at a normal time. Kind of a late preordain. Let's go with a Bitter Triumph. Nice little discard outlet, hum. Speaking of discard outlets, you spent all week helping your brother move to a new apartment after the dad kicked him out. Now you have to work tonight, no rest. Jesus Christ, Valupi. Well, that all sounds like a goddamn nightmare. I'm glad you were there to help your bro out. Family drama's never fun. Abuse caffeine. Yeah, it kind of sounds like that's the only plan. Oh, nice, the Exhume Wield. Hey, Untouched Marlin, how's it going? That's a really healthy perspective, Valupi. You might feel differently after tonight, after you work all night, but, you know. Yeah, I planted a bunch of plants we got from the native plant sale in my front garden bed. And then it was time to get ready for work, and so I gave him a little water. And the other plants, I could have like moved the flats into the backyard. Instead, I just like set them behind the raised bed, you know. I told my fiance that, and she was like, "You're not worried someone's going to steal them?" I'm like, "Steal my plants, my my flowers?" I think we grew up in different areas, different locales. There was a lot of petty crime where I grew up, but it wasn't like that, you know. It was like you could have your bike locked up in your backyard and someone would jack it and then sell it. Or people would break into your garage and steal tools to sell and that sort of thing. We didn't have to worry about like decorations disappearing. This pack is gas. I don't know what to do about this. We're like really not a Mana Vault deck. With Mana Vault, the ideal is like a bunch of 5-drops or draw spells or what have you. It'd be cool to have a ritual like post Grizzlebrand. I think I'm just going to take the Grief. There's a solid chance of the Grief wheeling with how late we got the Exhume back and stuff. I'm just going to take the Grief. and be sad about the Tamio Minskin Boo and all this awesomeness going around. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'm playing blue, huh? That is not a bad card to draw into off of your Grizzlebrand, that's for sure. We did pass Underground Sea. So I know we only have one blue card, but I am tempted by this Force of Will. Because Grizzlebrand drawing Force of Will is just the sickest shit. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna do it. It'll work out. It'll work out. Just trust. Ooh, Faithless Looting, though. Alright, I'm ditching blue. A little remand action. It works tempting. Probably just taking this Sunken Ruins. I'm thinking about Recurring Nightmare. The Scrapwork Mutt plays pretty well with it. Right now we have 2 reanimation effects. Yeah, give me the duel. You grew up in the country where you could just leave your house unlocked all the time. Now you live near Cleveland. Yeah, a little different, When you were a kid, you had a ladder stolen around Christmas because you went out for food in between putting up lights. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild to me. Yeah, we were like shoveling and we went in for food and she was like, well, shouldn't we like bring the shovels inside? And I'm like, who's going to steal my shovel? If someone's that hard up for a shovel, maybe they should have it. I don't know. We got that learning revealed earlier. The Tamio Wield? Wow, that's a fucking gift. That's a goddamn gift. Tamio and Storm Chasers are both really good with Time Walk. We're going to take the, the more powerful spell. And the Snapcaster. Man, I said this was going to work. Remember when I had, like, no blue cards and I took Force of Will? That was ballsy as fuck. We passed an Underground Sea in the other direction. You forgot your keys in your truck with the windows down the other day? Nice living somewhere quiet? Yeah. Yeah, I left the door to the car open the other day, and it was totally fun. Well, a neighbor actually came to let us know. It was like, hey, you left your door open. You should probably unlock your car. I guess I do have Doomsday. Should I be considering that? Something cool about our deck is that we could put Time Walk in the Doomsday pile. Kind of stumbled into that, huh? You've left keys in your front door overnight? Wow, the Recurring Nightmare. Our lane is open, friends. Our lane is open. Mana Drain, huh? I think Mystical Tutor is better than Mana Drain in this deck. The double blue on turn 2 is kind of rough. And the Mystical Tutor could help us find, a reanimation spell for Grizzlebrand. Or the Time Walk, right? It's especially good if we get an actual Entomb. Necromancy, not bad. Thinking about these duels. Not duels, fetches. Thinking about Spell Pierce, Void Walker, and Currency Converter. Currency Converter is kind of nice, right? We're a little light on discard outlets. Emperor of Bones. I wouldn't mind another thing to reanimate. My uncle used to live in a very rough area. One of the rougher areas in St. Louis. And he got really mad because there were people dealing drugs outside of his apartment. And so he would call the cops and they would ask him what his address was, and then they would like laugh at him and hang up, Regular cop stuff. And so he took it upon himself to like tell them that they couldn't deal drugs there. And he went out and got in an argument with them. Ended up losing most of his teeth. And so he kept escalating. He went out and bought a gun. And he was sitting in his truck, like, waiting for them to show up. And he fell asleep waiting. And when he woke up, someone had stolen the gun from his lap. And that was when he decided to move. He moved back in with my grandma. I probably would have moved sooner than that particular breaking point, but yeah, I'm tempted by this Atali. I like the Raucous Theater with the Scalding Tarn. A little fetch there. Little Overlord action. Yeah. Could have ended so much worse. Yeah. Yeah, it certainly could have. Well, I guess Grave Titan's a backup reanimator thing. Not a bad one for Recurring Nightmare. Yeah, not getting a duel for Lorien Revealed to grab is kind of a bummer, especially when we got Doomsday Oracle. We're also missing the Dark Ritual. I can grab that Dark Depths today. I think I'm going to throw a Treachery in the sideboard. Did I peek any of the Final Fantasy cards? Yeah, we looked at them. Not that I'm really stoked about. Ooh, Tali came back, huh? I mean, if we play the Doomsday and the Thassa's Oracle, I think we gotta play the Talisman just for fixing. Gonna be hard to make space. Don't really need this Death Threat, I guess. Not really a Shinobi deck. I like that it pitches to Force, but I don't think we need it. Hey, seriously, why not? Thanks for 74 months there. At least a year. At least 1 year. Pretty sure you got a year in there. The deck's very splashable, but I don't think I want to main deck it. To cut a Tali. Three cuts feels like a lot of cuts, huh? That's one thing about cutting the Oracle Doomsday combo. I think our mana, aside from the Sunken Ruins and the Talisman, our mana is just like not that good. And it is triple black and double blue. And then I guess we would want JC there. And then I would play one of these two, I guess. Do we have enough way of binning things, binning our reanimation targets? We got Overlord, Scrapwork Mutt, Bitter Triumph, Currency Converter. I think that's enough. Can always reanimate Grief. If we did want to make room for these four, then we wouldn't be playing Shinobi or Treachery. And then we would need 2 more cuts. Ideally black cards to help support Force of Will. I guess we would cut a Tali. And then, yeah, I don't know what the last cut would be and fit all 4 of these. Maybe just have the Talisman take a lane slot. I'm going to start with this build, and if we face somebody who's, like, not aggro, like, we end up playing a combo mirror, maybe I'll board in the Oracle stuff. But I don't really want to play Doomsday against aggro. Anyway. 1 mountain to play that Atali. So this would be 9 blue and 5, 6, 7, 8 black. Let's 9 and 9 it. Mana's not as bad as I thought. Not good, but... Or if they have a ton of graveyard hate. Yeah. Like have this configuration game 1 and then board in Doomsday when they bring in graveyard hate. That's an idea. So if you animate Dead the Grief, you get to take another card. Just think about getting this Palace Jailer. Opponent's got a good curve, huh? Turn 1 Ocelot Pride, turn 2 a Johnny off the top. Oh, right. The Lauren just blew up the enemy dead. We knew about that. What am I doing over here, huh? What am I doing? I needed to get back the grief to hit the Lauren. I was thinking they would Spellbinder this turn for some reason. What's wrong with me? That all feels awful. I wonder if I can keep the treachery in somehow. Jace is probably at its worst. Oh, do I need the other one for Doomsday? I feel like I don't. It'll give me more freedom for pitching Thassa's Oracle to Force Will, but I just don't think it's necessary. Hey, thanks, Death by TV. Appreciate it. Captain Maple Syrup says, while I'm excited for the 365 thing again, I hope you don't burn yourself out or overwork yourself. Oh yeah, no, I think it'll be good, Captain Maple Syrup. Full awareness of what I'm getting myself into, right? Oh, we could cut Duress. Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm still gonna be doing some variety days, mostly on Fridays, because that's my slower day anyway, and a lot of folks go to play FNM. And I think I'm gonna be doing those either weekly or every other week. And then I still have time to go see live music and stuff. The difference is, so on Saturday I actually have a live show, but it doesn't start till 6. So ideally I'll be live by 11, stream till 4 or 5. Have a nice chunk in there. Nice length of stream, something for people to sink their teeth into. Not like a 9-hour stream, but solid chunk of hours. Fun, Death by TV. So I think it'll just be good. You missed the first 3 days. Can I start over? Well, that's an idea. I wouldn't want anyone feeling left out. Hey, Hufflock, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 70 months there. The big 7-0. Oh, shit. What up? Yeah, right. Jace looking great here. Hoping to fade the turn 1 Ocelot Pride. I really don't have a ton of answers to that. I'm just going to crack this Clue. And then next turn I can play the Currency Converter and the Mutt, and then immediately spit out a 2-2 from the Converter. I like that a lot. I think I might know what I'm going to be discarding too. Sunken Ruins would make this hand make a lot more sense. Talisman would work too, right? We could Talisman into Jace. Talisman into Doomsday and then Jace next turn. Thanks to my warm-up and variety streams, you've been playing way too much Once Upon a Galaxy. I've also been playing way too much. I kind of wanna get #1 rating in that game, and it's very, very hard. I'll get into the top 70. I'll get into the 60s, you know, and then I'll lose a game. I'll get 6th place, and all of a sudden I'll be at 140 or something. You gotta, and then you win, and then you're at 138. And it's Jesus, it's a grind. Oh shit, what up? Hey, out with the knee. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for 55 months. Hard to catch live every day with life and stuff, but you love the YouTube VODs. Want to get some hype for the 365? Appreciate that, out with the knee. Cheers. You're sorry, Galaxy in the chat. Once Upon a Galaxy. I've streamed it a couple of times. If I looted away a land, actually, the Currency Converter could give me a treasure, and then I could go Doomsday into Jace. I think I'm just supposed to Doomsday here anyway. We have a Snapcaster. We can put a Time Walk on top. They're not going to fucking deal me 10 damage on their turn. Oh, very fun, Death by TV. Alright, I want Thassa's Oracle, Time Walk. So we draw a Time Walk, we cast it, and then we Snapcast back Time Walk. And then we'll have 3 cards in our library. Grab Lorien, revealed an island. Oh, we have this currency converter to loot too. Ruins over the island. Well, Lorien Revealed can't get the ruins. Where does the Once Upon a Galaxy app show your ranking? You have to be in the top 2,000 before you see your ranking, Crow's Tongue. Otherwise, it doesn't show you. Hell yeah, with the name. Different mood, huh? Slightly different mood there. Get close to 3k MMR. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the range. So we can snap back the Time Walk, or I think you can just play the Oracle here. Even if they have Solitude for the Oracle, we could loot and, like, not only have an empty card, empty library, but also have Force Will backup there. Yeah, when I was doing my stack, I wasn't even thinking about the currency converter, but I do like the stack in retrospect too. You YouTube the songs on your phone when I talk about them on the VODs. Sounds depressing. That's not depressing at all out with a name. You're just like hearing about awesome, dope music and checking it out. What's depressing about that? That's sick. That's what I would like hope to happen, huh? A little iffy, huh? At least we don't die to a turn 1 Ocelot Pride. One white mana him to track there. At least Bearwave's a 3/4. Your cat likes to climb to high places and meow for like 15 minutes at a time. Interesting. Yeah, I would look for a cat psychologist, Tom. Definitely a vet question. From my personal experience with cats, I found that they talk a lot more if you talk to them. But it can be very hard to train your fellow humans not to talk to the cats. Because it's like a natural human thing to do. You talk to them and then they talk back, and that's very fun. Hey, Dr. Rivers 103, thanks for 13 months. But yeah, every cat's different too. So maybe they're stressed out about something specific. Too bad Broadside has Menace. We can't like ambush it with the barrow here. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Bartaboos, thanks for gifting a sub to Explosion Burger. Nice, yeah, I thought they might do that. Well, if I can find a Time Walk here, maybe that'll do something. Oh, I needed to cast the Overlord pre-combat. It would have grown my Barrowgoyf, gain more life. Interesting. Is Grief better than Overlord here? I think so. I could Grief them and then, like, by pitch casting the Doomsday and hardcast the Overlord. Maybe that has a better chance of winning than, like, trying to hardcast. That's a bummer, but, like, I think we're low enough that maybe Doomsday is just not it. All these fucking disenchant effects. All right, I guess I could touch the Spirit Realm and play Overlord, and Overlord will just get Lauren'd, but God, and then they sack the fucking Lauren to pop my Barrogoyf. It's all very annoying. I'll return a blue card, and then when the Monarchy draws me a Force of Will, I'll have a pitchable. Oh, the Force of Will was played turn 1. What am I thinking? When your called shot goes wrong. Hey, thanks for the sub out with a knee. Appreciate it. Well, the Barrogoyf did grow large enough that the broadside can't just sack and kill it. Fair enough. Yeah, I was thinking that they might use Heritage Reclamation to exile a card in my graveyard to shrink the Barrogoyf low enough for a Lauren sack to do the trick. But yeah, I might just be fucked now. Time Walk? Time Walk off the top? Damn. Well, I felt like we were in that game. Our lack of removal really mattered. We can keep this. Hopefully that theater finds me some blue mana hum. Perfect. Just gonna hold up remand here. Feels kind of nice to resolve Currency Converter against black. They have a rough time getting rid of it. How do you feel about that? That rift, though. Interesting. I thought they might double block the Barrogoyf there. So I'm actually going to put the Grizzlebrand to hand. I can always bin it if I really want to, and now they can't target it with their reanimation stuff. I wonder if they're missing a color over there. They have 7 cards in hand. And then it's like sitting there slowly dying. I love that land cycling works with Converter. I feel like Currency Converter should see like more play than it does in like Legacy. I think if it was Modern Legal, it would see a solid amount. Yeah, and Remand's like a Time Walk, but there'll be other spots, I think. Maybe there won't be. Maybe I'm a fucking idiot. Thinking about letting this... I mean, I'm thinking about, like... Yeah, what if I remand this, then they tap out for it again, and I just, like, let it happen? And then I fucking treachery it? Maybe that's arrogant. Maybe that's arrogant on my part. There's gotta be like nobody that's got this hand and is just like letting that animate dead resolve. Oh, interesting. They got show and tell Emrakul hum. I assume they grab the Collective Brutality and try and force something else through this turn. Show and tell and Emrakul, I think, would be pretty bad. They don't have a Grizzlebrand in hand. Why? What are you asking why about Palak? What is your full question here? Well, that attracts a resolve. I kind of explained that already, and I've got this treachery, and I want it to be my Atraxa. Why do I look so handsome today? Now that's a real question for sure. They got an elected, yeah, Emrakul, Island, Collective Brutality, but then they didn't play the Collective Brutality. So they probably got something over there. Feels very risky. It is risky. I fucking said it was risky. What are you on about? So the Amber Bones lives, we can launch a Grizzlebrand too. Kind of real. Alright, Mr. Krasny. Let's not go for this. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Little ghost vacuum. Little mirror tech right there. Itali seems sick if the opponent's got Emrakul in their fucking deck, Same with Shinobi. You're building an unpowered cube out of only cards from standard legal sets. Trying to decide if Atraxa is too good as the top natural order reanimate target. Natural orders, standard legal. Oh, you mean cards that went through standard? Yeah, I don't know. You certainly get an old school vibe if you force people to like natural order for Progenitus or some shit. Nah, it's talking about the power creep. It's to avoid the power creep from the Modern Masters sets. Elite is the idea, and the complexity of the EDH sets. A lot of those cards have like a ton of text on them. A lot of them are new staples and stuff. If you remove all of those sets, you do miss out on some very cool cards, but you also like simplify your cube. And then you give it a little bit of a theme, and people that are bitter about new cards or cards that don't go through standard might be attracted to play it. You know, they'll know when there's not going to face any of those. Well, there's certainly reasons to do it, huh? Not arbitrary at all. Arbitrary, like whatever card I cut here, huh? Well, the lower power your cube, the worse Force of Will gets. Like, if Hymn to Turok's a good card, then Force of Will is, like, still a good card, but maybe no longer a first pick, huh? I'm just gonna submit with 41. Gotta fucking submit something, huh? A little bit worried about firing off Grief and then them just reanimating it. So I'm going to wait until turn 2 where I can Grief and then animate dead in the same turn. Hopefully I don't get burned for that. Hey, congrats, Upside Down. Oh, Exhume should have come out, huh? The Reanimator Mirror. Maybe that should have been my board out. Oh, please have an Atraxa again. Please have an Atraxa in hand. Please, 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 please. Well, okay. I'll take your Grave Titan. You take my Grief. Everybody wins. By everybody, I mean I win. Yeah, I mean, if everybody has a good time, then does anybody truly lose? Seeing that? You think through standard feels arbitrary? Sure, I mean, that wasn't. Yeah. Because standard hasn't existed through the length of the game. Yeah, I think most people know what you mean, though, when you say through standard legal. They mean cards that were, like, printed without excluding standard, right? Like, this set is not standard legal, hasn't been stamped on them. You don't have to quibble and be like, well, alpha and beta, there wasn't standard. Like, come on, come on. You know what it means. Come on. We double block and a Grieve. Take an 8 down to 3. Probably should have flashed that Snapcaster in, huh? Kind of realized I'd clicked through it at the time. There's the option to, like, crack some clues and flip a Tameo. They get a couple orc pings. Probably not worth it, Maybe I should crack a clue on my turn, give them one orc ping, and then crack a clue on their turn, give them another orc ping. I kind of dig that. You give them 2 pings in a turn, and they get to clear a zombie. If they animate dead on the Grave Titan, they would get 3 blockers. They'd have 5. God, I only have 1 attacker going through. Alright, let's win. Perfect. I'll take the 6. Ooh, I like the Drain. It does leave the Archon in their graveyard, but I already burned my Animate dead. I don't think I have another way of reanimating their thing. Huge potentials for top decks, for the opponent. There's Archon and Grizzlebrand in the bin now. If they trade off 2/2s, then they're still taking 4 and going to 1 here, which does put them dead next turn. We have a pretty good incentive to not crack these clues now, And then just be donating blockers. Oh, I should have cracked a clue before I played the Bitter Triumph, Let them grow it one more time, who cares? I guess it lets them trade with a Bowmaster, Then the Bowmaster could trade with a zombie token instead of chumping this next turn. Hell yeah. I kind of enjoy the Reanimator mirror. Usually mirrors suck. Well, an interesting hand, huh? I'm going to try it, but it's not that good. Over 1%. Hell yeah, Jedham. Sweet Dank deserves a sub. Appreciate it, old school Chris. Yeah, as a big guy myself, I I also have a good self-esteem, and I was trying to like think about like why that is. Like everyone's a little different. Part of it might be that I didn't get big until after. Was this another reanimator mirror? Amazing. After high school, right? And so I didn't get like bullied and stuff for it. But when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm usually like hyping myself up, like looking good, bud. Talking to myself like another person. Now we're gonna discard a Tali and they're gonna reanimate it, and let's go back and forth. I really want to sack their Torsten to rebuy a Tali though, with my recurring nightmare here. That would be sick. It helps that there's been like more media where big dudes just like have healthy relationships and are loved and stuff. Representation matters. Our Flag Means Death is a really good show for that. It was a very comfy show. So they want to exile my anime dead. Okay. And then, what was her name? Maria Bamford had a show. Lady Dynamite. That show was also really good for that. Real nice self-esteem booster as a big dude. It had a Olafsson, who plays like a villain on Severance. Just like complete 180 personality. Just plays like the biggest, fuzziest teddy bear in Lady Dynamite. Back in the day as Roseanne, I could see that. Normal folks, normal bodies. Man, she really moved away from that, though, Hey, sup, Badagaboosh? I have things going for me besides being a little big. Yeah, I think most people do, though, right? And then it's like some folks, it hurts their self-esteem more than others. So I was just kind of musing on why that might be. Just thinking out loud. The dress should probably be in, but I don't know, you gotta cut something, I kind of hate cutting combo pieces. They might not even be a reanimator deck. They might have just binned it because they didn't want to draw the card with the surveillance. They're like a natural order deck or something. Or probably Flash, huh? They've got Bloom. Might be like the worst ghost vacuum ever. Like a dress would just like stop their combo instead of got like a shitty little vacuum. Most people don't realize how much they bring to the table. Yeah, people do tend to underestimate themselves. That's a bummer, Eric. You fucking rock. And there's some definite advantages to having a little bit of weight. Obviously, it's nice to not, right? It's nice to be healthy and such. Have a little bit more endurance when you're going on your jogs or what have you. Nice things. But a little bit of pudge is nice for cuddling. Can't be beat. Everyone loves a soft cuddle. And hugs? Who doesn't like a nice hug? What the fuck am I supposed to do here, huh? I'm thinking about looting with Mutt, but like maybe I need to save it. The thing is, like, they kept the curator off the Malevolent Rumble. How am I gonna deal with that shit, Let's pass here. Keeps you warm, helps you float. Yeah. Oh, another thing that like has me looking at fat a little bit differently than I did maybe when I was in my 20s Is that a lone TV show? There's this survival show that I got like super addicted to and watched. Like I've even watched like the Australian version of this show, where people are just like dropped in the middle of the wilderness and have to like videotape themselves as they're being like attacked by bears and shit, middle of nowhere. The only human interaction they get is like once a week, a boat comes out to do a health check on them and make sure they're not like starving to death too fast. It's a really brutal show. Like you watch people like waste away in front of you, and some people are like successful hunting and fishing, and most people are super not because it's just extremely difficult. Especially with all like the camera equipment, they can't even like move sites very easy because there's so much stuff to haul around. Really difficult show. But watching it makes you think very differently about like fat. It's like, oh right, we need that. That is a necessary thing for our bodies. Competitive fat maxing, yeah, they do that when they get like a month notice, so they can like make plans and stuff with their job and their family and whatnot, get their affairs in order before they leave. And in that month, they're talking about like, yeah, I swigged like a gallon of olive oil a day, like just putting on pounds so they can last longer, so they have a better chance at their first prize. Yeah, a bit of a bummer, huh? Bit of a bummeroo scheme. It does mean they're tapped out and don't have Keen-Eyed up. If I were to rip a 2-mana reanimation effect now, I would be able to get it off. Mutt, bin the Italian type thing. I think what I'm going to do is exile the Solitude. Because Exhume would be bad with them having a Solitude, right? Oh, nice. Perfect. I want an untapped land. The guy who dyed his hair to have better material to dye fishing lures. Yeah, right? Yeah, he dyed like a patch of his hair bright neon. And then he had some neon material for his fishing lures. And just like cut his hair off. Oh, it was fucking wild. Alright, Tali. What you got for me, friend? Oh my fucking god. This is horse shit. What is this? Alright, I'm gonna put a Tali under a Ghost Vacuum, I guess, because if I get one more mana, I can just crack the vacuum and have a 1/1 Atali. I guess that's my fucking plan. We just have to dodge like a disenchant on the Ghost Vacuum. I'm sure they only have 5 more of those. One more that we saw in game 1. Oh, Survivor is the opposite. They try to like get used to being hungry before the show. Interesting. Kind of the inverse. The 7/8 goddamn Baragorf. Just get to a low calorie diet because they do provide food. Yeah, yeah. Whereas on Alone, it's like you have you have a knife and a tarp. Good luck. My Curator's about to be a 7/7, huh? It's a little scary. I actually wonder if my Mutt should not have attacked, because Overlord plus Mutt could represent a double block to trade with the 7/7. I think in retrospect, that was better. just much better. Might have to bolt myself for this thing into Stupor, right? Oh, okay. Well, I would have gotten blown out anyway. Oh, if they hadn't exiled Enchantment, if they hadn't exiled Animate Dead, they could make a 7/7 right now because Overlord's 2 types. But they already have Enchantment under there, and they're 2 cards. Yeah, if they'd exiled their land, or their Portable Hole or their Worldly Tutor, they would have been able to hit me for another like 4 there. We drew a land anyway, so we don't have to. Let's do this. Yeah, I'll play your Mox Jet. Why not? Ghost Vacuum coming up fucking huge, huh? How does flipping on Atali work? I need to look this up. Ghost Vacuum Atali. I should be looking up Ghost Vacuum flip cards. You think it'll still be a 1-1? It says level 11 on the background, the back there. It won't flip because it's a token. Tokens have backs now. Oh, it's not a token. So the things that don't flip are clones, because clone just like you just get the front side. But it's both not a token and tokens flip now. They updated the rules for that. Half of chat is still saying the tokens don't flip, but that's not true. Remember the tokens that got produced in a recent set? And they were just like, they needed to be activated to flip or something? They were like clues, but instead they were 2/2s, and you would like flip them and they would get 1/1 counters or something like that. They like changed the whole rule for that. Yeah, the Phyrexian tokens. Yeah, they didn't used to flip, but now they do. So I've got like a Baragorf and a Time Walk. Like we could just win. I'm gonna try flipping a Tali though, because I don't have the mana. This is 6. I could go to 1, lose to Orcs or whatever. Yeah, I knew that was gonna fucking happen when I played the Time Walk. I just wanted to flip my damn thing. Do I have the life? I technically had the life, but then you're like putting yourself open to like dying to Orcs or something, going to 1. I'd have to bolt myself for 3 damage and then shock myself for the flip.